Hey guys, so I thought I would make a video about intuition. I think I'm going to call this video the intuitive inner conflict or the intuition inner conflict or something like that. So I want to kind of flesh out a little bit or just discuss a little bit about intuition and how it is not clear cut and it's not something that you necessarily feel comfortable trusting right away. At least that has been my experience. So my experience with my intuition is that um, something's flying here. My experience of intuition is that sometimes I doubt it um, because it's something that either, like, if you want to call it the intuitive mind, conjures up essentially. So it's things coming from the back of my head that are um, coming to the fore of my mind, coming to the front of my mind, and so I'm expressing my thoughts and things like that. But it's like, how do I know what's to be trusted? And especially being an Enneagram 6, it's difficult to know what to trust. And the Enneagram 6 is very intuitive usually, but it is also a really doubting Enneagram type. So it's intuitive, but then it also doubts. So it can doubt its own intuition, it can doubt its own insights that it gets. So I don't, I haven't solved this conflict at all of like how to trust my own intuition. And I know there's content out there that deals with ways to get in touch with your intuition in a way that you trust it more, and how to become like best friends with your intuition, and how to use it practically in your life. Personally, I'm not there yet, and so I've done videos previously where I've given like intuitive insights, but it's like I don't know how to, like, I wouldn't necessarily trust my own intuition at times. Sometimes it feels very real, other times it's hard to know what is really to be used practically. Because essentially, like, especially as a 6, as an Enneagram 6, I will overthink everything pretty much. And so it's hard to know, like, what is the component or what is just an element, what is the result of an overthinking state of mind, and what is actually something that can be used. How do I differentiate between, like, what is something that I can trust and what is something that it just comes as a result of me overthinking everything? So I think being somebody who is intuitive in general, it's hard to get in touch with it in a way that I know that I can really trust it and use it practically. And there is a need in this world to be practical in a way. You know, there's a need to make sure that your insights or the help that you're giving to people is something that they can use practically. And I just want to like document it, that it's hard to know sometimes how to do something practically when you just have a thought in your head about like or an insight that comes to you, but it's not necessarily easy to like incorporate it into your day-to-day life or your psychology. And so the conflict lies in, how do I trust what is coming up intuitively, and how do I use it in practical day-to-day life? I could say this in better ways, but I'm just, this is how I'm wording it, so bear with me. And like I said, there is a need to some degree in this world to be practical, but I think maybe the key is to actually understand that, like, if you're more an intuitive person, that the the practical people will take care of the practical things, and then the more intuitive people will take care of the intuitive things, and together they will form the whole, and that's what will actually bring about solutions. And so it's just about trusting that, but it's hard to trust that sometimes, because it's like, it's hard to trust like, like sometimes I would think, well, maybe I should be more practical, maybe everybody should have practicality, but then it's like, then you're not taking into account that the intuitives do their thing and the practical people do their thing, and then that brings about the whole and brings about the bigger picture and the solution, if that makes sense. So maybe it is just about accepting that, like, maybe you are the idea person more so than the practical person, and to really trust in that and become as good at that as you can. Like, be really good at the intuition, like really learn about it, really become best friends with it, and use it or trust it, like really trust it and get into it and trust it in a way that you know that it is bringing something to your life and other people's lives. Because the practical people, the people who are more inclined to the practical things, they will take care of the practical things more so than the intuitive things. And while they can take care of the intuitive things as well, their focus is more practical. And so the intuitive people, they will take care more of the intuitive things with a little bit of practicality on the side as well, if that makes any sense. But like maybe the like the intuition and the practicality coming together is what actually creates the solution that you're seeking. So maybe taking just intuitive advice from some sources and some practical tips from other sources will create the perfect solution, because everything will kind of come together and everybody's doing their bit, and then that creates the bigger whole, if that makes sense. So I would say just like it's important to like just be okay with just contributing what you can. So we can't be good at everything, and I think it's better to have your space that you do what you're good at, and really try and make it in a way that like you believe it and it comes from like within you, and you know that there's a place for that thing. So if you are a more intuitive sort of person, like don't worry about like not being able to sort of give a lot of practical advice or tips, because your area may be more on the intuitive side. And I think a lot of the videos that I've made in my life have been, in a way, maybe subconsciously, um, reminders to myself. So it's like I'm reminding myself in this video almost that like maybe it's okay to be an intuitive person in the way that you like give out information, for example, even if it's not super practical, because the practical elements will come from other sources, and it will create a holistic picture, like I was talking about earlier. So it's like just contribute what you can and trust in that, and then that will like everything will kind of take care of itself then, if that makes any sense. It's starting to rain, so I'm gonna go back inside. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you want more content from me, please do subscribe. Thank you.